is just going to be a very simple whisper ramble, but we are going to be answering, well, I'm going to be answering some this or that questions. I wanted to do a more summer themed one later, like in the summer, but I figured let's just do it now, and just do like some random questions instead of just keeping them all themed to a specific topic or whatever. But so I gathered just some this or that questions, and I'm gonna answer them and maybe just like touch on them a little bit more, give like little explanations here and there. But before we do that, I just wanted to say thank you. If you are a new viewer, thank you so much for taking a chance on my content. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for sticking around. If you enjoy anything that I do on this channel, do not forget to like and subscribe. But let's go ahead and jump into the video. Alright, so I have my list of questions here, and we'll just start with the first one. So, road trip or plane trip? And for this one, I'm very like in between because I've done a lot of road trips in my life. Just, visiting family. I've done like some really long road trips before. Like we drove from Houston all the way to Charleston, South Carolina one time. I've done like Houston to Florida. Where else? And just like smaller ones within Texas, because Texas itself, like a road trip is gonna be like more than 5 hours for us. So I've kind of grown up doing the whole road trip thing. So they do have like a special place in my heart, I guess you would say. But now that I'm a little bit older and, I make my own money and I, have my own, like I can spend time how I want to spend it. For me personally, I would love to just always hop on a flight instead of road tripping. But there's different situations, of course. Like whenever we road trip to Charleston from Houston, it was like basically it was gonna be a huge family trip. So it was like a few different cars, kind of like caravan style, and that was nice because I was with my cousins and we were just having fun. And then also when we would stop and get gas, we would see everybody else and just kind of talk a little bit like of things we saw on the road maybe. So that's what's fun about a road trip for sure, depending on who you're with and the route you're taking. Some are better than others. However, like I said, there's nothing better than being in the air for, a few hours and just getting home and not really feeling like super exhausted. Because that's the thing about road trips. If they're long, when you get to your destination, you're tired. You need like a whole day to reset. You feel like dirty because you've been sitting in a car for so long. If you're the driver, you haven't slept. So I understand the appeal of a road trip, but I think I'm gonna have to go with a plane trip just because there's just so many upsides to that, honestly. So I'm gonna go ahead and choose the plane. Alright, next is text or call. So for me personally, I don't like receiving calls unless it's from like my mom or maybe my sister or people like that. If it's from somebody else, like I get kind of nervous. I'm like, why are they calling me? I think it's just in this day and age, everybody expects some type of like text beforehand. However, like if I have a lot to say, I'd rather let's just do a call. Obviously, let's set this up. Like I'm not gonna cold call people really, but let's do a call just because it's way voice note if I feel like I need to overly explain myself. But maybe I should get more into those because it's kind of like a call text hybrid thing. But yeah, if I had to choose one right now, it would definitely be a text for sure. Just depending, like on an everyday situation, I'd rather somebody text me versus call me. Alright, so laundry or dishes. Well, they're both a little annoying, I would say. I don't mind doing the dishes so much now. Like before, I used to hate doing the dishes. But I think it's because I lived like with my family. Like I lived with my mom and, you know, my siblings and stuff. So if it was my turn to wash the dishes, I'd be like, oh, I probably didn't even use any of these dishes and now I have to wash everybody else's mess. So that's why I think I was really annoyed with it, you know, when I was younger. But now that I have my own home and I'm really just washing the dishes of me and my husband, now it's fine because it's like, okay, yeah, I made this mess, like let me clean it up. And it's a little soothing, like I'll put on a podcast and just wash dishes or whatever. So that's kind of nice, I will say. And it's quick. It is quick. Like if you just get it done, like it's fast and you can move on with your day. Whereas laundry, depending on how much clothes you have to wash, it is a process, like a whole day's long process. And then you have to fold everything. So what I do like about doing laundry is the fact that you just put it in the washer and then you can go do other things, right? And then you just have to move it and whatnot. That's like the easy part of it. The hard part, I guess, is actually folding it and putting it away. Which I have gotten better at that too. Like, I'm just like, let's get this over with. A lot of it is just like, let me just do this. So, because there's no point in leaving it sitting around, right? But I think I'll have to choose. These days, I'll choose dishes just because it is like a quick thing that once you do it, you're done. Okay, so this is while walking. Do I prefer music or podcasts? So this one is okay, well, I think for sure the answer for me is going to be podcasts. I am such a podcast person. I love listening to podcasts. I listen to podcasts when I take a shower. I listen to podcasts while I'm, like I said, I'm washing dishes. I listen to it while I'm cleaning. And yeah, probably when I don't like work out a lot, so I'm not gonna lie. But before, when I used to work out, I would listen to podcasts as well. I like podcasts. However, there are moments where it's just like, you know what, I just need like a good song, you know, to get me going. However, like walking, I think I would prefer a podcast. But if I was doing like weighted workouts and stuff, then I would probably choose music. It's just walking. It's like you're more with your thoughts. It's like slow paced. You know, so it's nice to kind of be listening to a podcast about something that you like when you're walking. If I was like trying to run or yeah, like I said, like doing actual like workouts in the gym, like lifting weights and whatnot, I probably choose music just because it's less, you know, you don't have to think about it too much. But for walking, yeah, I definitely want to do a podcast. Okay, online shopping or shopping in a store. So for me, well, I like to do a little bit of both, but it depends I wear and things like that. But yeah, I prefer shopping in a store. Next is spaghetti or lasagna. So spaghetti is like a tried and true always, that if I want to make something easy and filling, I will make a pot of spaghetti. And it's easy and we love it. Spaghetti with some like garlic bread, delicious. And lasagna, I really don't eat lasagna that much because I don't know how to make it. I definitely want to learn how to make it, but as of now, I can't make lasagna, so I don't have it a lot. I only have it if, I only have it if I go to like an Italian restaurant and order that. But I do love a good lasagna. It's so, so good. So, I don't know. It's kind of a tie for me because, like I said, spaghetti will never let me down, but lasagna is just so good. However, I don't know if I feel that way just because I don't have it as much. So when I do have it, I'm like, oh my god, where have you been? But I think I will choose lasagna. Like if I had to choose, like if they were put right in front of me, like a plate of spaghetti and a plate of lasagna, I probably prefer the lasagna for sure. Alright, so at a movie, candy or popcorn? This is very easy for me. I need popcorn if I'm going to the movies. Of course, I always want candy as well. My favorite for a movie is Bunch of Crunch. Let me know what your favorite candy in a movie is, but that is mine. However, I need popcorn. Like, if I go to a movie and don't have popcorn, did I really go to the movies, you know? Yeah, if I'm going to the movies, I know I'm spending like $1 million because I'm getting the popcorn, I'm getting the drink, I love a good like pretzel with the cheese, a cheese cup. Amazing. And then of course, like if I want to be even more out there, I'll get a box of candy, but yeah, I need popcorn. If I don't have popcorn, I didn't go to the movies, is how I feel about it. Alright. Paperback or e-reader? So, this is talking about books, like if I prefer like the physical book or like a Kindle or something like that. For me personally, I'm not gonna lie here, I've never had a Kindle, like I've never owned one. I do kind of want to get one because now that I'm getting more into reading, I don't know if it would make more sense to get a Kindle, but so I can't really say. However, I've just always felt like the best way to read is having the book like in my physical hand. Because I used to read like on my phone, like I would read like little books and stuff on my phone, but it's not the same. I like the idea of like flipping through pages and and actually physically getting to see like, oh my god, I'm getting through this book. You know what I mean? So for sure, I think for now I will choose like a physical book. If I get a Kindle, I might change that answer because I might be like, oh my god, this is amazing. But I don't have it yet, so I can't fully answer the question. Okay, the swimming pool or the beach? I don't know. I think for me, I love a good pool. It's just so much easier and like clearly less messy because it's just a pool, right? Whereas the beach, you have like the sand and all of that mess and that salty water. I guess it depends on what beach, because if I'm gonna be on like a beautiful beach with like white sand and clear blue water, like yes, that's amazing. But kind of where I live, I'm not getting that. I'm not gonna get that like that frequently, so for sure a good pool. is probably a little bit more like nicer for me. But of course, if I lived somewhere where the beach was like I said, that gorgeous blue water and the really nice soft sand, then yeah, I would definitely be more of a beach person. But you know, it's just not accessible to me in that way. Alright, flats or heels? In an ideal world, I would love to be one of those people who wear heels every day. I think heels are so cute. I love purchasing heels. Like, if I could, I would buy heels all the time. But I stop myself because I'm just like, when are you ever gonna wear this? Like, you don't go out enough to wear heels. But if I did, I think I would choose heels. But just being realistic, I probably wear like flat shoes 99.9% of the time. So of course I would have to pick that. But if I was like more out there and like always doing stuff, I would definitely choose heels. I love heels. TikTok or Instagram? So I recently thought about this because for the past 2 weeks, I was doing a social media cleanse, just for like myself, and it was like a goal I had set for myself to do this year. So I just went ahead and did it, and I found myself like, I was like, oh, okay, I don't have no interest in Instagram. Like, I didn't even think about it, to be honest. But I did feel myself missing like watching TikToks. So I think that kind of answers the question. Like, for sure, I would choose TikTok over Instagram any day. I don't know, I just like TikTok more. Obviously, there's just more content on there, and like from different people. And maybe it's just because I don't get on Instagram. I'm so serious. I do not get on Instagram enough to where it's like, maybe it's not catered to my interests enough to where I'm just like, I really don't care. You know what I mean? So also, like, I feel like to be on like Instagram, to enjoy it a little bit more, you would want to be posting, and I don't do that. Whereas on TikTok, you could never post and you would still enjoy it just as much. I don't know. But the only thing I guess that's good about Instagram is you are kind of seeing like, or keeping up with people from your life, depending on who you're following. So that's the one thing about it. But I don't know, I prefer TikTok way more, and I kind of came to that realization. Reality TV or documentary? Lately I've been on such like a documentary kick. I've been watching, specifically like true crime documentaries, which is not something I would really watch before, but I just started watching a few of them. I finished watching not too long ago The Worst Ex Ever, which is on Netflix. I started watching that one, and that one really, really drew me in. I loved it, and I finished it in like 3 days or something. I thought it was really well done, and the stories were very interesting. So I was watching that one. Before that, I watched I think it's called like Homicide New Orleans or something like that. It's just about the homicide team in New Orleans kind of solving all these cases and whatnot. That one was super interesting. I really liked that one. So yeah, I've been on like documentary kick. I really don't watch reality TV, which I feel like I should, because that's what everybody talks about all the time. I don't know. I am contemplating watching the new season of Love Island from the start, because usually like you can't escape Love Island, right? Especially on TikTok and stuff. So like the last few seasons, I just knew so much about it because I watched clips on watch the show. So I was like, maybe this time I'll start watching it from the beginning so that way I can, kind of know what the conversations are and stuff like that. That's a big maybe. I might watch it and get bored. I don't know. But yeah, I'm more of a documentary person. Horror movies or rom-coms. I am this is so easy. I don't know what I'm thinking. A rom-com, of course. If you saw my last video about the comfort movies, which please go watch it if you haven't. I'm basically just rambling about like my comfort movies that I love to watch, and all of them are basically romantic comedies. I think the only one that's not is The Hunger Games, which there's a little bit of romance in there, but it's not really like the main part about it. But yeah, all of my comfort movies are rom-coms. I love a rom-com. I do want to do a video talking about rom-coms and stuff like that. But yeah, horror movies are good. I just feel like I only want to watch them during like spooky season. Other than that, I'm just like, I don't feel like being scared right now. But rom-coms are forever. So would I rather be able to teleport or read minds? I think before I would have said like read minds, that way I can know what everybody's thinking. Like, I don't care. Now I would rather teleport. Can you imagine how easy life would be, or not easy, but how much better life would be if you could just snap and like show up somewhere else? Like, no driving, no traffic, no long commutes, nothing. Like, I could literally be anywhere in the world. So yes, I'd rather teleport than be able to read people's minds. Rich and famous or rich and unknown? Of course I thought about this. I would rather be rich and unknown, probably. Just because, yeah, I don't care to be famous, honestly. Like, the only reason I would maybe want to be famous is to be rich. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like being famous, the money comes with it, right? Whereas if I was already rich without having to do the fame part of it, that would be fine. I just want to be rich so I can take care of me and my family and just live the life I want to live. If you're famous, there's so many other things that you have to worry about, and I don't care to worry about all that. I just want to be just rich and doing my own thing. Losing sleep or skipping a meal? This one's kind of tough. I love to sleep. I love to sleep. However, I do love to eat as well. I guess it depends on the context. Like, would I rather? I don't know. Like, if I'm traveling, I think it's all about like seeing as much as I can and eating as much as I can and taking in the culture and stuff. So if I had to sacrifice sleep for that, that's fine. But if it was just like my normal life, like I'm gonna sleep, I would never. Yeah, there's times I'd skip meals. I don't care. But yeah, I need to sleep. I need to sleep. So, vacation or staycation? I think they all serve their purpose, to be honest. I love a vacation where I go somewhere else I've never been. Of course, that's ideal, but staycations are very cute. And yeah, it's like less stress in a way. It's just like, let me pack a weekend bag and let's just do this. Whereas US vacations have a lot more stress and they're usually more expensive too. But they each have their own time and place. I think I would choose a vacation though, for sure. Travel with a strict itinerary or go with the flow. So I love an itinerary. And that's because if I'm traveling somewhere, it's usually somewhere that I haven't been before. And that means that I want to get the most out of it. And to get the most out of it, you need to have a plan. Like you do. I know it's not as fun, maybe sometimes, but I think having a plan allows you to have more fun, actually. I've done both. Like, I've been on really strict, not strict per se, but like I've done trips with the itinerary and I've done trips without. I would choose the itinerary every day because, yeah, like, sure, you have things lined up, but by having things lined up, you're able to do more and you're able to enjoy yourself more because you're not stressing or like wasting time doing like other logistical things. Whereas if you just show up to a place and you're going with the flow, like, there's so much that you have to think about. Like, okay, well, is this place open? Does it take reservations? Like, how are we gonna get there? How much are like the Ubers or taxis or whatever? Can we walk there? What's the vibe? Do they have a dress code? Okay, if we go there, are we gonna have enough time to be able to go here? Because I know we want to go, you know, like, that's just too much to do once you're already on your trip. Like, no, you do that before. That way you can just, okay, I have to show up there, have a good time. Next, show up there, have a good time. Like, I don't understand why people would not travel with an itinerary personally. So I would choose that. Now, strict, I don't know if it needs to be so strict. Like, of course, if, you know, if we're all tired and we had a plan later on, or, you know, that we can cancel, like, that's fine. But I think at least having an idea of what you're doing is key to a trip. Next one is save or spend. Like, I guess it all depends, right? Like, what are you working towards? Obviously, if you're trying to buy a house in the next year or something like that, save your money, obviously. But I also like the idea of, you know, just, you gotta live your life, right? I've seen so many stories and stuff where it's like, this person, you know, they passed away or whatever, with all this money that they were saving towards, you know, whatever. And it's like, they didn't even get to enjoy that, you know? So sometimes you just have to do it. Of course, like, don't put yourself in such a big hole that you can't get out of, but I think it's okay to get into a little bit of, like, credit card debt. Like, obviously, I'm not saying thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Like, don't do that, obviously. But if you really want to do something, I think it's okay to, like, you know, I'm gonna do this and, you know, I'll work to pay it back. It's fine. Because, you know, it's once in a lifetime. Some things are once in a lifetime. So you have to take advantage of them. That's how I think. But obviously, if you're in a bad situation and you just don't have that wiggle room, then don't do it. But you know your situation. Big wedding or elope. So, I had the wedding. I don't know, a big wedding. I would say, yeah, I'm Hispanic, so all of our weddings are semi-big. I would say mine is kind of on the more medium side, like medium to small size, because some Hispanic weddings can get really big. Either way, like, we still spent a good amount of money on our wedding, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. And that's what I wanted. I've always wanted to do a wedding. There were times was where I was like, oh my god, let's just run away. But deep down inside, I knew I wanted to celebrate with my family. So for me, there was no question, like, I was gonna do a big wedding. I have a lot of family. My husband had a lot of family. It was just gonna be what was gonna happen. There was no other option really. But I think deep down that's what we both wanted anyway, so it wasn't like they were forcing us. It's what we wanted to do. So for me, I would choose a big wedding, but I do love the idea of a very small, intimate wedding or like an elopement. I think that's so nice too. But yeah, for me, it was never gonna be anything other than a big wedding. And then the last one, binge watching a series or watching weekly episodes. I love to binge watch. Especially if I find like a new show that I haven't seen before. If it has like a full season out or like 2 seasons out, that's like perfect for me. Because I like to binge watch, especially if I enjoy it. So yeah, I do like a binge watch. I know, like, before streaming and everything, we'd have to wait a week, and that's fine, but I think I prefer to binge watch. I feel like other people do as well. The only issue with that is now you binge watch in like a day or two, and then you have to wait like 3 years for the next season. I'm being dramatic, but some shows are like that. So that's like the bad part about it. But yeah, I think now, since we've been spoiled with like getting full seasons, I love that. However, now they're trying to switch back to like, oh, we'll give you like a sprinkle, like 2 or 3 episodes, and then you have to wait for weeks and weeks. And I'm like, oh, why would you do that to me? Like, I don't like that. So yeah, definitely binge watching a series for me. Alright guys, that was it for this video. Just answering some of this or that questions. That was really fun. And like I said, I wanted to do like a summer themed one, so there might be another one of those coming up in like a month or 2. We will see. But I hope you enjoyed this one.